Do you ever get to the end of the day, look at the clock, and think, where did the time go? You know you were busy, your calendar was packed, your inbox was full, and all you were doing was putting out fires. You know you were super busy, and you were jumping from task to task. But what did you actually get done? If your day feels like a reactive blur of business, believe me, you're not alone. And here's why. How do tech lovers, entrepreneurs, and busy freelancers stay productive without drowning in bad tech, apps, or chaos? That's the question, and this YouTube channel will give you the answers. My name is Nick, and this is Let's Chat Tech with Nick. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick Russell, and this is Let's Chat Tech with Nick. Now, I want to talk about a really cool book that I know I've mentioned before, but I wanted to make a full-length video because I recently read it one more time, and I absolutely love it. This is a book by Knapp and John Zeratsky, I believe. They're two guys that used to work for Google, and now they wrote a book, Make Time. So in this video, we're going to dive into the systems they talk about in this video and how it could help you. So like I said, if your day feels like a blur of busyness, you're not alone, and there's two invisible factors for that. And in this video, we're going to talk about that. Those two factors are called the busy bandwagon and infinity pools. Now, what if I told you there's a 4-step framework that I learned from Make Time that could help you solve all of that? Now, this framework comes from the guys that literally created the distractions that are keeping you from being busy. When they used to work at Google, they created a lot of those distractions. So let's talk about that framework right now. Now, before we dive into the framework and the solution, let's talk about the problem first. So we're going to talk about the busy bandwagon, and we're going to talk about infinity pools. And then we're going to dive into that framework. Now, first up is the busy bandwagon. Now, think about it. You text, email, talk to a coworker, talk to a client, or you talk to a friend, and you ask them how their day's going. What's the first thing they're going to say? Oh, I was busy. People wear being busy as a badge of honor. People seem to think having a full calendar of time-blocked events and tasks, an inbox that's overflowing in something you can't get to, a to-do list that's just never-ending. They wear that as a badge of honor and think being busy is good. The issue with that is the busier you are, the less you get done, but yet you still feel like you've been busy and you were productive. But it's a vicious cycle that goes from day to day to day without getting to inbox zero, without getting to Todoist zero, which I like to use, or completing your task list, or getting through your calendar of events and tasks and meetings. Now, the second issue is the infinity pools. This is the never-ending stream of content and videos and posts and blogs that we are just bombarded with hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. The very thing that John and Jake created, looking at the endless amount of YouTube videos and YouTube shorts, all the Instagram reels and TikTok videos, the endless stream of content that we're bombarded with every single day. And even they've admitted that that was designed to capture your attention and keep you scrolling nonstop every waking moment of the day. So the result, being busy and drowning in content, our days just seem to vanish. And we wonder what happened. Where did the day go? Now, this 4-step framework they talk about in Make Time will solve all of that for you. And now we're going to dive in and chat about it. Now, we're going to talk about 4 steps, and these aren't some magic productivity hack. They're not something that's going to magically change everything for you, but it's going to give you a chance to slow down and actually get things done. So what are these 4 steps in the framework? Highlight, laser, energize, and reflect. So we're going to dive into those 4 steps of the framework, and we're going to chat about them. So the first thing I want to talk about is highlight. Now, what this is think about what I've talked about before when it comes to eat that frog. you make your task list throughout the day. So this is something you could do the night before, or like me, I prefer doing this first thing in the morning. So I write out all the tasks I need, and using the Eat the Frog method, I break it down to the top 3 tasks that have to get done. Now, what this does, what the Make Time framework does, is you take one task and you want to highlight that task. So essentially, this is one task that if you get this done, your day is going to be considered a success. Now, this isn't going to be a major task that's going to take you hours. Think about something that's 60 to 90 minutes at the maximum. And that task, once you finish it, once you finish that highlight, well, your day will be successful. And in order to do that, think about what's urgent, what needs to get done. Now, also think about, okay, if you don't get this highlight done, what's the day going to look like? Is it something that absolutely needs to get done? Is this something that you could put off until later in the week, later in the day, tomorrow? Think about those things. You want something that doesn't have to be the most urgent, get it done right then and there, but something that's urgent enough that has to get done that day. And also something that's you're going to enjoy doing. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down your tasks for tomorrow morning. Take all of those tasks, whether it be the 6, 10, maybe 15 tasks that you have to do tomorrow. And I want you to pick one highlight, something that's going to bring you joy and you're going to enjoy doing, something that's only going to take you about 60 to 90 minutes tops, and something that has to get done tomorrow. And if that's the task that you get done tomorrow, then your day is going to be considered a success. So that's your highlight. Let's jump on to the next framework. Now, the next step in this framework is a laser. And what that means is this is laser focus. Now, we get distracted by so many different things. Now, the way I work and get things done is on my desk, I have a rectangular desk mat. And only the things that I absolutely need and will be using for work stay on this desk mat. And pretty much that's my mouse and my keyboard. My phone is off to the side of the desk. It's sitting on my MagSafe charger. And what I do with that is I put that into a focus mode. So when I have my time block set, so if I have a time block set for 8:30 in the morning to 11:30, and then I have my lunch from 11:30 to 12:30, and then work, my phone will not notify me of anything, except for a couple of emergency contacts like my mom, my dad, my girlfriend. If anything comes up where it's an emergency, obviously they can get through. But I don't get Facebook, I don't get TikTok, I don't get Instagram. None of those notifications come through throughout the day. So that's your first step. And you can even do this on your laptop. Now, the next stage is actually getting into those time blocks and being laser focused for your work. So what I do is I time block my week out, and I have a task from say 8:30 to 10:30, and then from 10:30 to 11:30 before lunch. I'll block those times out, and I'll work for a solid 30 to 45 minutes nonstop, setting a timer, similar to the Pomodoro technique, but I don't stick to the 25-minute rule. I'll usually work for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour max. And then I'll get up, take a quick little breather, stretch out a little bit, sit back down at the desk, and maybe take a drink of water, and then focused on what has to get done. And for me, I use the Eat the Frog method as well as highlighting a single task. So I can see that on my to-doist. So I'll have those tasks set to the side monitor, focus on the tasks that need to get done in the morning, then I'll take my break. And I won't be obviously focused, catch up on a few things, and then I'm back to being laser focused in the afternoon on just those time blocks. So that's being laser focused. Now let's talk about Energize. Now, when it comes to Energize, this step in the framework is about movement. It's about getting motivated. It's about energizing yourself. Now, in the book, they talk about drinking coffee. Some people like energy drinks. For one, I'm not a huge fan of energy drinks unless I absolutely need to. I will have my 2 cups every morning, but I don't need those for energy. My way to stay energized throughout the day is I start my morning right off the hop with hyperhydrating. So what that means is I will take a pint of water and I will chug it as soon as I wake up. What that does is it rehydrates my body, and then I'll get moving. I'll do a little bit of exercise and get out for a 7K walk. Now, not everybody's going to do that, but as long as you get your body moving before you start working, especially if you're at the desk all day long, your body needs to move to stay energized. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break up your day to at least get up from your desk, do a couple stretches, walk around the office, walk around your house, whatever the case may be. Just get up and move. If it's possible, at lunchtime, get up, walk around the block, maybe go to the store and get that or the coffee shop, get that coffee. But as long as you're getting up and you're moving your body, that for me keeps me energized and motivated to work through it the whole day. Now, that may not work for you, and that's okay. Whatever you can do, whether it be moving your body, taking energy drinks, drinking coffee throughout the day, or maybe you're a night owl and you like to have a pot of coffee on while you're working at 10, 11 o'clock at night, midnight, whatever the case may be. But whatever you can do to keep motivated, ensure that you're not tired, drowsy, and trying to push yourself to work. Because if you're going to push yourself to work, the quality of work isn't going to be as great. Now, let's talk about the last step, and that's reflect. Now, the last part of this framework is, as I said, reflect. Now, this is something I use Notion for, and that's reflecting on your day. Now, how I do this, and you could do it your own way, but as long as you kind of incorporate something like this, it's going to work for you. So the first thing I do is I talk about my top 3 wins of the day. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is, as long as I'm writing down 3 wins and celebrating that, that's a great start to stay productive going forward for the next day and the next week. Now, this one's a little more challenging, and you've got to be honest with yourself. You want to write down where you were uncomfortable and what went wrong throughout the day. I had an argument with my significant other. I had a bad call with a client who wasn't happy. Whatever the case may be, write down where you were uncomfortable, what went wrong, and in the next step, what you're going to do is you're going to write down how you can make tomorrow even better. Now, just recently, what I started doing is quickly jotting down basically what I do in the morning is writing out the tasks that I need to get done for the next day. So I will jot down, I won't do the highlight and I won't do the top 3 using the Eat the Frog method, but I'll write out a list of things I need to get done. So it's at the top of my mind, and when I wake up, it's fresh in my mind. I can rewrite those down in the morning as I plan that out, and I'm good to go. I'm never second guessing, and I'm never wondering what I have to do going forward each and every day. So that's it. That is the 4-step simple framework from Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky from the book, Make Time. Now, if you want to get your own copy of this book, I'll put a link to the book in the description below. And believe me, you will not be disappointed. I obviously have the physical copy, but I also have a copy on Audible because I love listening to my books as well, say when I'm out on a walk or something like that. But this book was so good, I had to go out and buy a physical copy. So once again, the 4 steps in this easy framework is highlight, laser, energize, and reflect. So go ahead, get going with that. And if you liked the video and got some value out of it, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you on the next video.